Welcome back to the City of Palms podcast.
Hey.
Thank you for watching, viewing, and subscribing. Today's a special guest because, dude, it's the first time we got a guest in, dude, since all this.
It's been a minute since yeah, dude. We set up the new studio and we've had some episodes here, just me and him, but we haven't got back to like having guests over and meeting people and having interviews again. So this is dope.
Yep, long awaited too.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
we've been trying this for a minute, but we're here now. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. So, formally introduce Enoc.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. For sure. Yeah, dude. So, where do we begin? How you been, bro?
I've been good, man. Just staying quarantined. I'm trying to stay away from,
How has it affected you, like just in general, like all of this?
everything. I feel like just your day-to-day changes.
Yeah.
You can't really go to the same studios like that. You can't really go shoot videos like that as much because either the videographer doesn't want to be outside or you don't want to be outside because you don't know who has what. So it definitely changed like just how normal everything goes day to day.
Yeah. Have you been using any like Instacart, Uber Eats, like any of those apps getting shit delivered to you?
DoorDash has definitely gotten a lot of business from me for sure. They knock at the door probably every other day.
Yeah, dude, I feel like they're gonna expand all of that. Like,
No,
I feel
for
like with
sure.
everything happening, it's like we're entering a new normal, sort of. So
Yeah.
I feel like all those apps are gonna have some sort of big update soon
For sure.
or
You
something.
don't see when you walk into a grocery store, it's all like automated now. There's no cashiers anymore. Like,
Yeah,
there's probably
it's crazy.
And then it's like 8 just self checkouts. They're trying to take everybody
Yeah.
out of work and everything electronic. Man,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
for people who
Yes.
don't like to socialize, it's probably a much better shopping
Yeah, for
experience.
sure.
Because I've noticed like one thing I love about working in a grocery store is like having that customer interaction and stuff. And with all this COVID business and people wearing masks and the plexiglass, it's like you can't even hear each other anyways. So I'll be like, "Hey, how's it going?" And they'll be like, credit card," or I'll be like, "Cash your card," and they'll be like, "Good, how are you?" And I'm like, "All right, I'll just stop talking." They clearly can't hear me.
That's funny.
But it's good that you're doing good, bro,
Yeah,
because this
man,
affected a lot of people.
I'm just trying to stay like creative as much as I can. Like just work on music, trying to get into working out. And that's pretty much it, man. Just trying to stay busy, stay productive with my time.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
That's
One day at a
what's up,
time.
man.
One day at a
Yeah.
time.
So yeah, I see. It hasn't really slowed down your grind, though. I mean, you've been working.
Nah, man, I have to keep working, man. You
That's
got to
what's
find
up.
the way around any complication to get your stuff done, The safest way, of course, But even when I go record, like, even the engineer will be masked up. I'll be in, like, the private room. So it's like we're practicing that and all that stuff. But, yeah, we just got to keep grinding, got to keep going.
Right.
That's it.
How do you feel like shows are going to be affected?
Shows are going to be, it's either going to, when things kind of calm down, it could actually get even bigger just because of the weight. The fans, like, for the bigger artists and stuff, and they go to these festivals and then even local shows. I know people like going on Friday nights, Saturday nights to see all the artists around the city, and it's like, I feel like when things start clearing up and everybody's doing events again, people are going to come out, enjoy their time. And then you see people are transitioning to these live concerts now. Like, people are getting booked now to do live stream concerts from, like, whatever setup they got, and then they're performing it on YouTube Live or any app that they make. So if they keep going that way, I think shows can come back strong. It's just a matter of, obviously, with the coronavirus and everything going on, that everything calms down with that. But
Yeah. Have you ever seen the Tiny Desk concerts that NPR does?
I've seen those. Those are cool.
Those are dope, and
Yeah,
I feel like
those are
they've been doing like Tiny Desk at home concerts
Yeah.
with people, and like those have been awesome. I saw Black Thought did one, and it was like really entertaining, even though it's
Yeah.
just him in his chair just chilling with a cigar, just like rapping to the camera. It's so
super
dope.
because it seems more personal,
Yeah.
Like they're just actually vibing with the song that they made with the fans that love their music, and it's just cool, I'm sure people are at home with like some wine or they're lighting whatever up and they're chilling, watching it and enjoying their favorite artist music. I think that's cool. I saw Gunna did one in like this crazy backyard in California with like these doves flying around. I'm like, wow, that looks crazy. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
man.
Roots did one. Black Thought and the Roots did one in the
Yeah,
park
I
too.
saw that on YouTube.
Yeah, that was
I did
dope.
see
They
that.
were
I
just
did see
DJing in the
that.
park and everything. I've seen a lot of artists doing stuff like that for content now, where like they'll kind of think about ideas, maybe like showing their writing process or like beat making process or anything like that. Just like as in that intimate, like just you and the viewer. Have you thought about doing stuff like that?
Yeah, back like then, like randomly, like if I was in the studio and we'd cook up the song, I'd go on Instagram Live for like 20 minutes and just preview whatever we've been working on and stuff, just rap it to the people watching it and stuff. I haven't gotten too like hands-on and making videos showing the process too much, but that would be definitely cool to do that one day, to show people how we record or like how I write or how I record, how I make music. That would be definitely dope.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
That'd be sick. So yeah, we were first gonna have you in like when VGX was a thing. Can we talk on that at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were involved in No Sorries. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do.
Ace of Spades, man. Marlavachi.
Yeah. Yeah. So On Sight was on there. I remember hearing that, and I was like, dude, these guys are killer. And so
That song shouldn't even been the one. I thought the one we did with Sling should have been on No Sorries. That song was crazy. I don't know if you heard it. One sec. That song was crazy, but I'm grateful to be on there. That was dope.
Is
Shout out
that
to
on?
them.
Is that on the major platforms?
Yeah, all the songs that we put out made it on major platforms.
I must have heard it then. I just don't recognize the title.
Yeah, one sec. We actually got to perform that, man. Shout out to Sling, man. The first time I ever got to perform, the only time, it was last year, and it was outside of the city too. Boca Raton, he took us out there, and we got to perform, and that was the best experience, man.
that's
Were you nervous at all getting up there, or did you were you pretty cool about it?
I was the third verse, so going off Sling's energy, and he has experience performing, and then my cousin went on, and then it was me. I felt more comfortable, but of course you're nervous, the first time, because you're like, dang, what everybody's gonna think, But you just go out there and have fun, man. I was having fun when I made the song. I was having a blast writing. I was having a blast recording it with my people there. So I'm gonna have a blast performing it. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. How do you feel the performance went?
Great. The night was crazy, and what was crazy is we rented a dope house for the weekend too. We just made a little thing out of it. And we just had everybody come over after just to hang out and stuff. It was a great time. And we were the last ones to stay our camp, and then Sling's camp. We were the last ones there at the spot, and we ended up just staying there. And then we went back to the crib, hung out, and that was it. It was a great time, man.
Sick.
Yeah. Shout out to Sling.
Hell
Drew
yeah.
Torres too for the hookup, man. They hooked it up big time. That was a good opportunity for us.
Word. Yeah, those boys are grinding.
Yeah, for sure. They're doing their thing.
Hell yeah. So then you started doing music solely, which
Yes.
yeah, which is cool, and then I see you grinding too. You're out in I think it's Miami where Bay 8 is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bay 8, man. That actually, going there was huge for me because their studio is running 24/7. There's artists recording there, great artists recording there all the time. So the engineer I got to work with, he actually went with me. My boy Lewis, he actually went with me, and this dude, it was a different learning experience for me because I've recorded with different engineers. I've recorded around whoever, but this guy, it just clicked. The sound was there, and we were able to knock out a few bangers, man. I'm excited.
Dope.
One came out already. It was a freestyle I put out a month ago, and I got a couple that I'm gonna be dropping this month coming, hopefully. So
That's sick.
yeah.
Nice. So have you worked at studios around here, the facility and stuff like that, or?
Yeah,
Word.
we actually worked. I worked there last summer. Promo's actually, I've known the engineer that works there, DJ Promo. Shout out to DJ Promo. Known him for a while. We actually got to work last summer, and it was a song that we did put out when I was in VGX called "Let Him Know," produced by my boy actually Cassius K, and we got to do that one there, and that was a good experience. Yeah, shout out to the facility, man. The vibes there.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been how long have you been doing music?
Okay, I've been in music, involved in music as since I was young because of my father. When I was growing up, my dad played bass for our church. So twice a week they'd have rehearsals, and it's live instruments. I'd be near the drummer, I'd be the bass. My dad plays the bass, and then the pianist. So I was always around live instruments. And then my dad was also a photographer, and there was dudes back then locally trying to come up in the mixtape DVD era, and he was taking pictures for their cover arts and stuff, my dad, and he would take me with him. So I was always seeing this stuff. And I remember around 12, there was two dudes that I grew up with, and I actually reconnected with one of them recently, which was cool. And it was the first time I was actually writing raps, and we rapped it in front of the church and stuff. And so I had that. I didn't really start taking it serious or drop a song till last year, though. I didn't ever drop anything till last year. I was working in 2017. I started working on music. Then I didn't really keep going as much as I should have maybe. And then in 2019, right in the beginning, we had made this song called Chosen. I had made the hook and the verse, and I was just in there. My cousin jumped on it, and then from right there, we were kind of yo, let's just start putting music out. Boom, we're going to do a collective, and we just went on with it and just kept pushing.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude.
And that's basically what started my little run.
So other than your dad, who were some of your big inspirations musically? Was hip hop your first kind of draw into you creating music?
For sure. Hip hop, I got presented to hip hop pretty early, and not just oh, hear this song. My older cousins, my older cousin, for example, Alex, we call him Snorkeler. He put me on to everything. I was the only kid probably at 12 years old that could recite a Big L, Most Def freestyle, word for word, even to this day. And I remember they would look at me funny back then. Or like, I remember like even in high school, I used to play like UK drill music, and like now that's like a thing. Like I used to play this stuff and people just, oh, this is trash. But like I always been into really hip hop, like studying the artist. Even before I thought of ever doing music, I was just obsessed with it. I was obsessed with not like the cars and the jewelry or any of that, because then I can work for that. More of like the actual lifestyle, like just making music that you love and just being able to tour, being able to meet people, being able to just like give moments to people. That's
Yeah, who's someone more recently that you've looked at as like a figure of inspiration?
Man, of course Drake, J. Cole. The newer acts right now that are killing it to me, Lil Baby's going crazy. Those guys, Gunna's going crazy. A lot of dudes, man. Sway Lee, to me, I like playing with like, I'm not on his level at all, but I like playing with like melodic flows and like stuff like that when I'm in the studio, and he's somebody who excels at that. So I listen to a lot of dudes that make music in the way that I like to, and then there's artists that I listen to their music and I don't even make music like them, but they inspire me. Like a lot of dudes even from like where I'm from in Massachusetts, like that are trying to come up right now. That's the music I kind of listen to most of the time, like. And just because I know that they're grinding for the same reason that I'm grinding, and it's like you relate to it differently, and that's what kind of pushes me to get in the studio and, all right, let's cook up, let's make it happen. Like,
Yeah, that's dope.
yeah.
Yeah, and to bring it back a little bit, when you touched on like just being proud of like what you've made as an artist, I think that's important too, because I think a lot of people, at least just from the outside looking in, like a lot of people, I just see like they're just trying so hard to make it, and it's almost like it's important. I feel like it's important as an artist to take a step back and like just appreciate what you've made.
100%. I feel like, you know, we all utilize social media. It's a great tool. But I feel like social media dumbed down appreciation for things. You know what I mean? Because like
it's that
I
instant gratification.
Yeah, I used to wake up like every morning, go on Hot New Hip Hop, excited to hear a new mixtape, like excited to hear a new interview, excited to see something. And now it's like everybody's just looking for that viral moment, which is cool. Like if you go viral, it helps your brand. But like it's never really about the music. It's more like, oh, let me get viral for something that has nothing to do with music, and then I'm gonna put a song in front of your face and hopefully you like it. Like I don't know. I'm not really with that. I'm more of just like I want to make music, do videos, be creative, and just put it out, and the people that receive it are gonna receive it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to look at art in general.
That's
you know,
real.
it should be like for your soul first, you know, and like people are gonna like it or they're not.
And that's the same thing with the podcast. You guys should only do this the way you want to do this.
Yeah,
because it's your creation. You know what I'm saying? Like once I start doing something for people to accept me, then it's like selling my soul technically. You know, like I'm doing things just so they'll like me. Like that's not me. I'd rather not do it. I swear. I could put out more music than I am, but I'm trying to do a couple things right now. Got a couple moves but that's just pretty much what we're on over here.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what you have released, like there's Freestyle. Is that the name of the song, or is that Freestyle?
That's literally how it went. I just freestyled like most of the lyrics, and then you piece it together and stuff. Like of course, like I'm not even gonna sit here like, oh, it was all off the dome. I pretty much did a lot of it off the dome. In the moment, you're just continuing to rap, you bar in, bar out. And then, you piece it in together, and that's pretty much how that song came about. And that energy just felt right. I was in Miami when I recorded it, so after when we played it and we're driving around, I was like, I gotta put this out, like, so.
That's sick.
Yeah.
And then the Why Now video, too. I was touching on that. That's sick, dude. Like, your visuals are on point.
Thank you. Shout out to Ways by Ace, man. He shot that. He's a young and killing it. That video was fun, man. I put a project out in the beginning of the year. That song was off that. Don't Be Surprised. It was a SoundCloud kind of exclusive.
The EP?
It was kind of just to put something, out, like solo work to show people, all right, I'm working.
Definitely.
And did a couple visuals off that, and people liked it. People received it well, and people still hit me up talking about, put it on all platforms, but I'm working on something new, something way better.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe it. That's tight. You want to take a break now?
Yeah, we could take a quick break just for the sake of the cameras, and then we'll be right back for part 2.
For sure.
Yeah.
The 239 swag bag will also have 239 swag, so who knows, you might get a CD from the Electric Mud.
I might throw in City of Palm stickers,
You might get some zines from Set Life, maybe a couple of your Rebellion zines, a Cobra sticker, who knows? To enter this raffle, we're going to be doing tickets at $2 a piece, and you can purchase as many tickets as you would like. You can send money via the Set Life Pro Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, and just add into the notes #WeLoveOllies, and that's how I'll know that in specific is for this raffle.
And if you want a free entry, all you have to do is share this video on any social media platform. Share this video, and that will give you one entry as well.
You have to use the #WeLoveOllies when you share it, though, or we're not going to find it, and we can't credit you for that. For a more detailed written explanation as to this raffle contest, you can check out either the Professor Shred Instagram, Facebook page, the Set Life Pro Instagram, Facebook page, or website for more information. $2 for one raffle ticket gets you the opportunity to win a whole bunch of swag.
Yep. Just remember, #WeLoveOllies.
And don't forget that all of this money raised from the raffle will be going to help keep our venues alive, so we have a scene to come back to when this is all over. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, let us know in the comments what you've been doing to stay creative during this COVID-19 pandemic. Are you painting new things? Making a podcast?
Writing a book.
Making your own bread? I see lots of people baking bread. What are you doing for fun? Are you rando nodding?
Oh, we need to rando knot.
I'm scared.
We got a rando knot.
Yes! Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people like to listen? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing by reading this ad. And let me tell you guys a little bit about Anchor. So, like I said, it's a one-stop shop, distributing, you put your podcast on. It couldn't be easier to use. My brother and I, when we started this podcast, we're looking around for a website. Where do we get our podcast up and running? How do we get it? Literally those exact questions. How do we get it on iTunes? How do we get it on Spotify? And I was trying to do that stuff by myself. And that's when I started looking up. And there's other ones you can use like JPod and all that. But let me tell you, Anchor, nobody's going to do it as great as Anchor. And most of all, it's free. So that's what you always do, man. That's what you love, is Anchor being free. So if you've always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it, go to anchor.fm/start. That's anchor.fm/start to join me in the diverse community of podcasters already using Anchor. Once again, that's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the ads. One thing I always like to ask guests, especially people in the hip-hop genre, is how their music making process goes. Not only lyrically, but just like in general. I like to hear your perspective. How does a song start for you?
Yeah.
Usually,
it starts with the beat. Sometimes there's times where like I'll write a whole song to another beat, and then a new beat comes on, and I take the lyrics just to see how it sounds on that beat, and now it's these lyrics that I wrote for a whole nother beat are not for this beat. It happens a lot with artists. Mm-hmm. Usually what I do though when I get in the studio is like the beat's on and I'm just vibing. I'm not writing anything yet. I'm just kind of, flowing, catching my rhythm with it, catching my flow. That's really it, just catching your flow. And then as soon as I catch my flow, and then I start freestyling. As soon as I catch my flow, I start freestyling and then trying to get the direction of the song, whatever in the moment. Usually if I'm going to really write a song that has like a meaning with a storyline to it, I'm sitting there and I'm writing it. But if I'm trying to make a song in the moment, just off creativity, it's usually 90% of the time the beat's on. We're just flowing. We're going to catch it, and then, all right, let's punch in, let's record. That's it.
Do you ever write without a beat? Like if you know, like, all right, I want to make a song about this topic and I want to see these couple of things. Will you write verses just like kind of like a poem, like how you want to say it?
100%. Like on my notepad, like if I'm bored in class, like back in the day, I used to just write stuff in my head, flow it in my head and just write it on the thing. And then eventually you find a beat. A lot of artists that, you know, unfortunately, if they get locked up, they do that. They come out, they got all these songs and they just go to the studio, find the beat and then they do it. I started like that back in the day. I used to write just songs just to write them. And then there are probably a bunch in my notepad that have no beat that I've just written verses. And hopefully one day we find a home for them, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
So, do you have any like experience producing at all or making beats, like working with Logic?
Well, working with Logic more to just record. I started recording with Logic and stuff like that. I've never really been hands-on producing. I do want to learn though how to engineer my own music, like mix and master. I feel like every artist, unless you're like already at a level where you got your team, you know, you should learn how to do that. Because if you're on the go and you basically have control to drop music whenever you want. So any artist that has that advantage, man, salute.
Yeah, then with like times like this with quarantine, you got all the tools you need just in your bedroom.
100%. So that's ideal right there. I definitely soon want to learn how to engineer my own music. Producing, I don't know. I kind of like working with producers and getting different vibes. If I'm ever at a point where like my time is just, I can do whatever, I'll sit there and I'll start, you know, producing and get better and just add more to my talent. That's really it.
Yeah. What about with your visuals with your project? How do you usually go about not only like music video type stuff, even just we noticed like some of the cover art for your projects are really dope. How do you go about like linking up with people or doing it yourself? How does that usually go?
Well, I appreciate that, man. Actually, there's this dude in Spain. His name's Cocaina Art. He makes my artwork and we linked up off Instagram. You know, I was just looking for artwork and stuff like that. I was just really looking for artists and me and him, like, I followed him, he followed me, and I didn't really hit him up right away. And then I hit him up like a week later. I saw something he put out and he literally will make the artwork. I just tell him kind of the colors and but he goes off and he does this whole aesthetic and his thing is 3D art. So all my artworks, they're in 3D. Like if Instagram would allow the quality, it would be even crazier. Like, but yeah, I'm working with this dude. He definitely has like the aesthetic I'm going with.
Yeah, I was gonna say like the fluorescent lights and stuff on some of your visuals are like really sick.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's definitely his creativity, man. I'm thankful for him, man. He brings it to the table. I'm glad.
It's important to find an artist like that too. Whenever you are looking, like I think some people pass that up sometimes. How important the visual aspect of the project is,
100%.
And if you don't like, if you have the idea in your head, or even if you don't, if the artist that you link up with also doesn't really understand like the vibe you're going for, then it's like. That's the first thing someone sees when they see it on like the streaming app or like in person on the disc or whatever. They see the cover, you know. The
most talented artist is like the one that like can see it without seeing it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like and it's not even, it's crazy because like I said, he's in Spain, so it's either through WhatsApp that we're talking, and he just takes what I'm saying and kind of enhances it times 10. So working with someone like that definitely, and that's just even with producers. You know, if you have a producer that's in house and he makes all the beats that you like the way that you like them, you know. You got it.
Yeah. And there's got to be like a healthy balance of communication between the musical artist and the
because you want their creativity to shine as well.
Yeah,
as much as you want
and
theirs.
it's like I've had people be way too vague. Just say like, oh, the name of the project is blah blah blah. Like make something, and it's like okay, I'll just like doodle or something like that. But putting that much on the artist is like they don't really know your vibe. But then inversely. I feel like it might be a mistake to give way too specifics because then at that point you're being the artist, you know, like you got to let them do their thing.
So like for just my EP cover, basically it was like, if you see it, it's like a drive-in theater. And then on one side, it's like welcome to Salem, which is my hometown. And then welcome to Florida when I moved here, like kind of before high school. Mm-hmm. So I kind of wanted to do something for my first project to show like where I'm from essentially. And then he added all the cars and he was even putting in the license plate, like my name and stuff. I was like, damn, that looks sick. But yeah.
That's sick.
Got that down.
So when did you say you moved here? High school?
Right, like a year before high school, like 2 years before high school, like a year and a half of middle school out here, and then went to North High. I went to high school with a lot of guys that do music out here, man. A lot of dudes from North kind of shine in the music scene right now out here in Southwest Florida, like Sling. I was a freshman. I think he was like probably like a senior, but like I remember we'd leave lunch. And it's like, yo, this is how you know Sling can freestyle, because like we'd leave lunch and it'd be like a circle of people and this dude could have on like a pink backpack and he'll make a whole freestyle out of that pink backpack like off the top and you'll be like, what? But it's just the most hilarious thing and actual bars in there. Yeah, that's so he's been doing that freestyling thing. Sling's been on that.
I love hearing that. That's not XMVIX too. Like they all went to like the same high school.
Yeah.
He's probably around. They're all probably around our age, your age.
True.
And they had the same stories like freestyle circles at the lunch table.
Marla
And stuff.
Vachi too went to North.
Word.
Yeah, all those dudes went to North, man. I can't think of who else. I think One Way may have went to North for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. But
True. Did you play any sports in high school?
Not more for fun. Like I was playing basketball with the basketball team every day, but I just wasn't on the team. It just wasn't. I wasn't tall in high school. I wasn't. I had to. I my glow up was like right after. I didn't have. I grew like my senior year. Like I have the documents, like. From the end of my junior year to the end of my senior year, I hit like 5 inches maybe. Like out of nowhere, and I was like, damn, why didn't I have this my freshman year? I would have played basketball, but whatever.
For real.
True.
Did you go to college or anything after high school?
Yeah, I did like 2 years at FSW, and wasn't really it. I ended up going, to barber school because my father's a barber. So I went to barber school for a year, and I got my license. I'm not heavy on it right now. I'm more like one day I want to open a few shops. Want to kind of own them and stuff like that. I'm more just trying to chase this music thing right now. That's really my main focus. And eventually, I got the license for a reason. Hope down the road you're gonna see a few things pop up. God willing,
Do you cut your own hair? Or
no. I tried to shave my own beard last week, and so I still got a little cut right here, man. But I don't really like to. I like going to the shop. Just sitting there and getting your cut.
Word.
Yeah.
Speaking of barbershops and all that. Have you heard anything about No Sorries 2?
I heard, No Sorries 2. I actually messed up. I even messaged Ace of Phase because I wanted to submit, but I guess I was late on the submissions. That was on me, but I'm sure that project's going to be fire. The next one come around, I'll send them some music. And
for sure.
True.
I've been hyped for that. I can't wait for that drop.
I'm sure that'll be fire. There's a lot of good artists out here, man.
Yeah.
For real.
And that's how I discovered, like, we had a little, like, spout in the podcast where when that dropped, it showed us, like, a handful of dudes that were like, whoa, this dude's fire. Never heard his name before. So like we'll link up with him and be like, hey, come chat with us,
Yes,
and I'm hoping the same thing will happen. I mean, I'm sure we'll see some familiar names on No Stars too, but maybe some new ones.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know when that's dropping though. I don't know
Me either.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to bring it back to your music videos, I wanted to ask, like, I've just been thinking recently when I watch music videos, like, who is that? Are you creating like the music video, like what you're shooting, or is that like what the videographer does?
Well, all right. So off this project, I shot 2 videos, and it was one for the first one. It was called Last Laugh. That was kind of like a freestyled video. It was like we just shot at a couple locations. I shot in an arcade. Like I shot in the office of like where the videographer like works at and stuff. So that one, but the Why Now one was more planned. That one had a more storyline to it. That was more a song where I was like talking to a girl at one point, and it was just like, every guy or girl has been in a situation where you feel like you're doing too much for somebody, and then like it's not really. So that was kind of that, and they come around when they see you pop, and you'll have people pop up when City of Palms podcast is everywhere. Like, oh, what's up? Like, how you been? Yeah, okay. So that was kind of what that song was about, and then the whole direction was that I was gonna be in the video with a girl, but the girl really was like the girl was there, but wasn't really with me. She was just there, and it was just like. I cut that off, but she's just still there. You see what I'm saying? It's hard to explain, but when you listen to the song, it makes so much sense because I'm just basically saying, like, yo, you want to come around now that you see me doing stuff, or you want to come around because you see this person shouting this out, or this person liking this song. Like, people are like that. People are like that. Yo, there are people, I promise you, there are people that won't shout you out until a certain person shouts you out. There are people that, like, look at my stuff, will never, like not even me in general, like they'll look at your stuff and they'll see you in person and show love to you, but they won't ever throw a like your way and stuff. And nowadays, I would never trip on nobody for no like or a comment, but it's more like, are you really like, are you supporting me? Like,
right.
Are we? Because you know what I'm saying. Like, so I don't really fit into that. Like, if you don't post it, you don't post it. If you don't support, you don't support. But, in person, don't act too funny. Like, don't act like you've been, like, down with me.
Right.
Like, when you're not really aware of anything that I've been going through for the last whatever.
Especially once you pop off.
Yeah.
Like, if you're at a sold-out show or something, you have these people like,
100%.
yeah, we've been here since the beginning.
Yeah,
it's like,
no,
have you?
Yeah. At least I didn't know. Like, where were you? like damn. Yeah, fake love is real out here.
How do you feel?
That's true.
How do you feel about the music scene around here in general, like in hip hop specifically?
I think.
And you can be honest. You can be completely
Yeah.
honest.
I'm gonna be. I think there's a lot of talent. I think there's a lot of people trying to be innovators with it. I think there's a lot of people trying to do their own lane. I think the only problem is it's like there's not like, I mean, at least from my experience, and I know a lot of dudes that are making music, there's not really like a unity between like if there's shows, then there's shows, and then, you know, people are rocking with each other, people will shout, but there's not really like, you know, like Atlanta, New York, these artists that are on the rise at the same time, they're collabing, they're like either showing love to each other, they're promoting for their scene. Like Southwest Florida can only shine as far as the artists want to take it.
Yeah.
You know, especially when there's no light on it as much. It can't just be one guy. If there's a bunch of talent, why isn't, you know, everybody kind of cohesive? Like, it's weird, you know, but everybody just does their own thing. I don't know what it'll take for people to come together and, you know, for this. The only way Southwest Florida is gonna shine as a unit of artists is if they come together. That's it. That's the only way.
Facts, yeah, I agree with that, because it's such a shame to see like there's a good clump of like talent here. It's like around here is kind of like somewhere like St. Peter, Tampa. Like we could be at that level of entertainment and like culture around here.
100%.
It's just a shame to see at these like big events and shows
100%.
and stuff when there's a lineup of like maybe 10 dudes. It'd be dope to see when first act is up, all 9 other dudes are up there, like supporting, you know, like buying drinks wherever the venue is at or whatever, like just being there. But so often you see like someone just pull up for their set, leave.
And that's what it's about. Like, it's like, because people take it's an ego thing and a popularity thing.
Yeah.
So, all right, I was the first one performing, I'm gonna leave. Why am I gonna watch these guys? They think like they're too good. But it's like, bro, we're all here in like the same place. We're all trying to grind for the same thing, whether we make the same kind of music or not. Like, you're trying to make it and you're trying to get fans, you're trying to do shows, you're trying to impact. At least that's what I hope you're doing music for. Yeah. But a lot of dudes, it's more like, oh, I'm gonna show up. It's like, bro, like, you know, this is for the love. We're all trying to come up.
Yeah.
Like,
and not even just for fellow artists, because like that you should sit in their shoes, even if you are like a little bit more like popping off than someone else in the set. 100%. You should know how it feels to step on that stage and be looking out at the eyes and hoping that they're like bobbing to your music, and like, because that's what it's all about. And like, and they should know that feeling whenever it's not a big turnout, you know, when it's just like one person in the crowd and it's like, fuck, like that feeling you get, you know.
But I've learned that, man, through experience, because I pull up to shows. Whether I know someone on the bill or not, I pull up and I just see what's going on. You know, that's the only way. I'm going to pull up and see. And, you know, I can tell, you know, you see dude get on stage and boom, they got to leave real quick. And I think that stuff, you know, so be it. If you're at that level where, you know, you got to leave. But, like, if you're in a room full of people that you just perform for and your aspirations are to be an artist, you know, you should stay. Kind of talk to the people and stuff, because you gotta leave. Like, what do you want to leave behind with it? You know what I mean? I never want to be the dude that just makes music, goes on a stage, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm fly, and I'm out. Like, I didn't leave anybody with anything, you know. You didn't leave anybody with anything to remember, you know.
And even I was gonna say the venues too. Like if somewhere like Palace is putting on a show, obviously they are like us. They just want to see the artist shine, but at the same time they're also a business and they're doing events there so that they can continue doing bigger and bigger events. 100%. And so if someone just pulls up, does their set real quick, maybe like daps up a couple people and then heads out, it's like, dang, that didn't that didn't support them at all. Like, if you chill there and like maybe there are fans of yours there, they're more likely to stick around and like buy drinks and like and give tips and stuff like that. I'm
a big believer in, you can get blessed with opportunities, but how you handle those opportunities, it just depends if you get more of them. Because to even perform, if you're an up-and-coming artist, I'm saying up-and-coming artist, not anyone that made it, has their own platforms, can go sell out any. I'm talking about up-and-coming artists. If someone's giving you the opportunity to perform on their stage, you better respect their venue. You better say what's up to the people, all that, because who would want to support you to the top if you're treating people like that when you're trying to come up? Yep. Like, I see it all the time, and I would never name drop nobody, but I see it all the time. It's a thing, and, you know, salute to them. We'll see how far they can take that. Yeah, that's it. I work at Aldi, and I don't know if you've been there, but you put a quarter into the carts to get them out. Okay. The other day, I was outside, like, being the customer greeter and stuff, and a lady got a cart for free, and I gave her, some customer gave it to me to give to her, and I was like, hey, here's a cart for free, you don't have to pay a quarter. And she's like, thank you, like, that's a blessing. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, you know, I tell my son that. I tell him, since he was a little boy, I told him, if you can't take that blessing of a quarter, you won't be able to get that $100 blessing. 100%. And it's like that, you know. It's if you can't
that little stage somewhere like Palace, even if it's just 15 people at the bar or whatever that you're playing for, that's not the biggest thing ever. That's not like the hugest deal. But if you can't accept that blessing and be grateful for that, you're not going to sell at an arena.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why, like, when I got my first car, it was a hoopty. And I remember the first thing my dad told me, he's like, yo, you better be proud that you have this. Because, like, there's some dude walking in the rain to work. There's, you know, so you got to be proud of, like, the little things. And that's something that I've learned through my own experiences just in life, in personal life. Like, if you're not content with what you got, you're not going to get anything else. You got to be grateful for what you have and work as hard as you want for everything that you want. I want everything. I want the big house, the car. I want all that. But you got to be, like, I won't get that with an arrogant approach. I won't get that without being grateful for what I have right now. Yeah. And that's what I even say in my music. I say that to my little brother who's 12. I say to him every single day that, like, making music isn't what makes you cool. Like, that doesn't make, like, I tell him this every day. I tell him, because I messed up. So it's I always tell him, like, you're going to find your passions, but, like, focus on what you got to focus on, things like that. I mean, I try to preach that thing, like, stuff like that as much as I can through my music and, like, for people to just show love, be like that. But, you know, people are just going to be how they are, you know? It is what it is.
Yeah, there's a fine line between, like, that confidence and arrogance, you know? Because, like, you can be confident and you can be proud of what you're making, 100%. But you can't let it tip over into that, into losing your humbleness, you know?
I'm the type of person, I'm competitive. I can sit right here, I know what I'm good at, you know? But you got to also know what you're, like, not good at and what you can improve at. Like, I can sit here all day. Like, I feel like I'm strong. Like, I can get in the studio right now and we can lay down, like, probably 4 hooks. Easy. I can go to a studio, probably lay down a few verses, but I can't, like, go to a studio and engineer my own music. I can't go to a studio and, like, produce my own music. Like, look at Russ. Russ don't owe nothing to anybody. And even if you don't listen to his music, this is the dude that still makes millions of dollars off songs he released in 2014. And this is the kind of what I was talking about, how social media dumbed everything down, is that everybody chases this bag, right? Like, the bag. And the bag is real. You can get this money. The money is out there. Money is real. The money is real for who works for it. But you got to work for it. Like, when you... And this is on, like, a musical approach. If you're making music for the attention on who you are and what it is you did, and then you presented music with it, I don't know. It just doesn't seem authentic. I don't know. You got to be just all about the music, man, to me.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
Be about the music. And if you're all about the music, it shows, you know? It shows.
Yeah, 100%. That being said, what would you say if you had to pick, like, one project you worked on? What are you most proud of so far that you've done? Even if it's not released yet. Do you have something that you're sitting on that you're like, okay, I'm very proud that I did that?
Yeah, there's this one song that I just recorded. It's called No Pressure.
And
that song is I previewed it a little bit on my Instagram story the other night, and I took it down after, like, 3 hours. But that one's going to hit because, like, you know, as an artist, you write your lyrics in, like, a way for people to relate and for the people that you want to hear it. So, you know, this is one of those songs. So that one's going to come out real soon, hopefully a couple weeks, and that one's a statement.
Before we get into the new projects you got going on, is there anything else you want to touch on before we get into the new stuff?
No, we hit it.
Because we're nearing 20 minutes.
Yeah, we're good. We can.
What do you got coming up, dude? We want to hear about it.
Yeah, I got singles. That's the main focus, is the singles. Couple features. I'm working with some. The thing is, it's not any artist from around here. It's that I'm like working with right now. But I want to present some crazy collabs coming up soon. But a lot of videos. I'm trying to get my YouTube channel. You know, to just be straight music videos and content, you know, like studio session vlogs, anything that I can put out for the people. And that's pretty much it. Just more content, more music. That's what I'm focusing on. And just establishing more of the catalog. And then just continuing to promote myself every day. Just pushing it.
Yeah. If you don't mind me asking, what's your reasoning behind dropping single instead of, like, an LP down the road or something? Because I've heard a lot of people do that approach.
It's a good question. Because, I mean, I did just drop an EP. And the way I look at it is like, all right, I just put this body of work out. That was kind of to just show people that, like, I've been working on music, because I kind of took a little break after I got out of, like, the duo. And so, okay, I'm doing music. And now the single run is basically songs that I feel like, you know, they're going to set a certain tone for me. And, you know, it's separate from it. Like, you know, those artists have, like, their music, but then they got those songs, you know, the songs that everybody, the universal sound that everybody likes. So I got some songs, you know, that are coming out soon that are really going to touch the people in a different way. That's how I feel.
I've also heard... because when you go the album route, it's like this whole big piece of art with, like, all these little projects in it. And I've heard a lot of artists describe it as, like, like when you're making a song, a lot of times, like you said with that No Pressure song you got, it's like there's a piece of you in that and like a message you're trying to get out and like a feeling you get while you're like excited to release it. And if you're saving stuff for a longer LP down the road, then it's like by the time it's finally done and all the tracks are done and ready to release, it's like the emotion's kind of gone. So you as an artist is kind of like, oh, there's these things that I've been working on for the past year. When the single route is more like, this is dope, ready to put it out, bam, it's out.
There's something about like, sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Cut you off. Yeah, there's something about like, if you're an artist, music, anything, I feel like you should always go with the momentum of the creation, because it's like if you make it and you're like, dang, this is the right moment to put this out, this is the right moment, people need to hear this, people need to see this, people need to feel it, whatever, you should put it out. You should go with that feeling, because 9 out of 10 times like that feeling might be right, unless it's just wasn't it. But 9 out of 10 times that you should go with your gut. Like with these songs, like I kind of already have it planned. I could sit here and say it, but then it would ruin all the surprises that I kind of have planned and the things that I want to put to kind of set the tone for me. The thing with me is like I want to put my foot in the game, in the sense like I want people to hear me and understand that when either if they working with me or if they listening to me, that I'm coming with everything I got. Like that's how I treat everything. Like that's how I treat this music. Like it's just, it's your art, man. You gotta put everything you got.
Yeah, and that goes for every, like I feel like with what's going on right now, it's like giving people, because everyone's got that something, that art that they work on, whether it's music or painting or drawing or poetry or music or videography or whatever. Like in your heart that like that's what you want to be doing, and sometimes you can't because like day jobs or whatever. But like all these people at home, like do the thing, make that poem, draw that picture, make that song, and like follow that feeling. Yeah, just do it, and just put it out if that's what you want to do, or just sleep on it or whatever. Just I don't know. I really want to encourage people to just.
There's no limit to where you can take anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, I never released a song till last year, and I've always done music. Like, I never thought that I would be. I swear to God, 3 years ago, I would not be thinking that like right now I'd be planning like these releases and these video shoots and coming to do an interview. Like this was kind of something that happened, and I think that's why I'm doing it as hard as I'm doing it, because it would literally happen like naturally. Like I was just in a studio that wasn't even my studio. It was my friends, and we just started messing around, man. And from there, I just knew that like, all right, I gotta put my time into this. I gotta see where I can go with it, because like we got a lot of looks early. People still, like, even when I took a little hiatus, like people were still messaging me, showing love. So it showed me like, yo, you gotta work, you gotta like, even if four people really love you and they really want to hear your music, you should keep going, man, because that 4 could turn into a million one day. You never know. Shit.
Yeah. Or like we said earlier, as long as you're proud, of what you're making, keep going. And I want to ask too, to get your perspective, like when you're releasing songs, do you release them on TikTok now too, because of how big that's gotten and like what that's doing to streams?
Well, luckily, like the distributor I work with puts it on TikTok as soon as the song's out. Yeah, so people want to search it up and add it to their thing, they can. That's definitely something I got to do more research on, man. That's definitely something I got to get on. The TikTok wave is crazy right now.
It is crazy.
I'm seeing dudes take off with that, but I kind of want, like, here's the only thing about that, and salute to everybody that goes viral off TikTok. Like, that's cool. I hope one of my songs does too one day. But what I'm saying is like, I never want my song to like be a TikTok song. That's it.
Right.
Like, that's the only thing. I respect it, and I would hope one day that I'm able to like utilize that. But I don't want any of my music to be TikTok music. I want my music to be like real Enoc music. That's it.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's it.
Yeah, I don't know if you watch TikToks or whatever, but the Renegade song?
Yeah,
dude,
that's showing crazy.
That's a producer's tag. Like that's part of like that's not even, and so he got like no recognition for that, like that's not even a song. That was
crazy. That's what's great though. Like and that like when people like, because that happened kind of naturally. Like girls just started making dances to that song, and from there it just took off. So that's cool. But like I would never go on TikTok and just like be like, oh guys, put this on your TikTok. Like this is the next TikTok song. But if people really like it and they want to do, like, by all means, let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
We covered a lot. You ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, we can. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on while you're here?
No, man, just be on the lookout. Got mad music coming out this year. A lot of videos coming out this year. Hopefully things clear up and we can get back to like shows, live events.
Yes, sir.
And that's just it, man.
Yo.
You can look at this camera and you can let them know where they can find you at.
You can follow me at EnocGX on Instagram, Twitter, Enoc Official on YouTube. It's easy to find. If you type Enoc on Apple Music, Spotify, there's not many of me. So you'll see my music.
Word. Hell yeah, man. All right, well.
And where can they find us at, dude?
Yeah, you can find
man.
us at City of Palms Podcast at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and we got new podcasts coming to your ears every Monday.
Yes,
This
sir.
has been episode 59.
Yup.
Thank you, bro.
And
Thank
if
you for coming
yeah,
on.
you
for
for
real,
having
for real.
me, man.
Thank you so
Nah,
much.
for real.
Yes.
First
And
interview, man. So shout out to you guys.
And if you're listening to this and you don't have time, I understand if you don't have time for a full episode, but that's why we're all over social media. You know, if you only got 3 minutes.
We got highlight pages. We got highlight
Yep.
clips.
Yep.
Watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one you should tune into the whole thing for sure.
And behind Enoc, you can see some of my artwork if you want to see that at Shred Grip. I'm not going to plug anymore. But anyways, this has been episode 59. Hit him with the outro, Soren.
Yeah.